almost at the end of the year, and I feel like it is time for me to round up all my works. And at this point I am in the rest mode and not even in the work mode anymore, even if I still have to work. Okay, so guys, in today's video we are going to be counting or looking back, roasting and toasting all my DIYs from the beginning of 2022 to this point. Okay, so if you have been following me since the beginning, you would know and you would have seen all my DIY journeys. If you check out all my videos, you would have seen all my DIYs. I try as much as possible to record or film each of my DIYs for you guys to see. So guys, in today's video we are going to be dividing the DIYs, the difficulty levels, into 3 segments. So we have the easiest, we have the midpoint, the not so easy, not so complicated points, and also we have the most difficult and most complicated DIY that I have ever tried. Okay, so guys, if that sounds like something you might be interested in, then you definitely do want to keep on watching. Okay guys, so the first segment is the easiest part of all the DIYs I've ever tried. Difficulty level easy. So number 1, let's start. I was trying to recreate a look by Micah Gianelli. I don't know if I said that right, if I ever say it right, but she's an Instagram influencer, style influencer and all of that. And you know those screenshots that you have on your phone of dresses you would like to make or dresses you would like to buy, and you've had it for years and you decide, okay, it is time because I don't want to just make this picture another screenshot on my phone. So guys, I decided to try this DIY, not because I wanted to wear it anywhere, just for the satisfaction of trying it, of getting it done, of conquering the DIY. And guys, I did it. So for this I made a DIY bralette. I used Ankara fabric. Micah Gianelli was a leather on all black fabric. So the fabric or the outfit consists of a bralette, a net top and a mini skirt. I made the set, I made a bralette super duper easy, and I feel like that bralette would work well as an on this, like under a major. And the next DIY is the softbox that I made. At this point I don't have the softbox because I already bought my LED lights, and I already upcycled the tripod, the PVC pipes I used for the tripod. I used some of them for the shoe rack that I made recently, and also the carton and the lamp I used in the house. Super duper easy DIY. If you don't have the LED light, if you don't have the softbox, you should try as much as possible to watch this video so you can DIY yourself one. Now the next thing on my list is a scrunchy headband. Okay, so this headband was everywhere in 2022 and I felt like I should try this DIY, and I tried it in 2 different methods, one with a plastic headband and one with an elastic casing at the back. Both of them came out lovely, and guys, it is a super duper easy DIY. You should try. And if you don't have a scrunchy headband, why don't you have one? Okay, another DIY here on my easy list is a free pattern by Navarros. It is a corset top that I love so much, and I would love to make again because I've been seeing some styles with corset top, and I would really like to make that corset top again. It is simple, the pattern is free, it is easy, it is a straightforward corset top. And another item on my easy DIY mix for 2022 is a matching bucket art for the corset top that I made. Okay, I tried to upcycle a fabric, my sister's old skirt, and I just used that as practice because I didn't want to waste good fabric. I used the skirt, the old skirt, as practice to make the Navarro's corset top to see how it would come out, and also the bucket art to see how it would come out, because I had to figure out the bucket art pattern by myself. And I feel like I am going to make next year, I am going to make the bucket art again, and I am going to be giving out the pattern for free. So if you like that, you should click on the subscribe button Like this video, let me know you're here, let me know you liked, subscribe, and join the DIY family. Okay, another easy DIY that I tried is an adjustable strap that I made for a bag that I cut out about 2 years ago and had to complete this year. Okay, so the strap, that was my first real adjustable bag strap that was made right, and it was super duper easy. So if you're a beginner bag maker, you should definitely click on that video and watch on how to make an adjustable strap. And also another easy DIY is also the bag that I made the strap for. Okay, so like I said, facing unfinished project, I cut out this bag about 2 years ago and I decided to finish it this year, and it was super duper easy, straightforward. I knew where I stopped. All I had to do was start, couple everything together, and I was good to go. Okay, so guys, another easy DIY that I tried this year is by Kiana Bonolo. This is also a free pattern. It is a corset top by Kiana Bonolo. Super free, super easy, super straight to the point, good to go, like super duper easy. Now I've got my first negative comments here on YouTube, and that was because I decided to upcycle an old jean of mine into a tote bag. Okay, it was super duper easy, straight to the point, nothing difficult. Cut your denim or cut your jean to the length you want, sew it all together, add the lining, add a closure if you want, and you are good to go. Okay, that got me my first negative comment. When I saw that comment, I laughed and cried at the same time, and I felt good because at least I got somebody to say something proud at and whatever. Okay, so guys, another easy DIY on my list. I feel like this is the easiest clothes DIY I have ever made. Okay, so this is a lounge set, pajamas lounge set, loungewear set, 2-piece loungewear set that I made. All I had to do was replicate my favorite tank top, adjusted it to the way I wanted, replicate my favorite shirt in the house, adjusted it the way I wanted, and that was all. Nothing much. All you have to do is get your favorite outfit or your most comfiest outfit that would work as a loungewear, adjust it to the... Now guys, let's move on to the midpoint, the not so easy, not so complicated, not really complicated, but maybe time consuming and all of that. Let's move on to the medium. Okay guys, difficulty level medium. The first item on my list is a wall organizer that I need. Now guys, some of you already said that it will not last and everything, but guys, it is almost a year. My wall organizer is right here and it is doing the do. Okay, so what made it difficult was that I had to like figure out how to place all the pieces and all the scrap fabrics I had to sew all the scrap fabrics together in order to make one big piece of fabric. Plus the interfacing I used was very hard. It was a Marco, aka Ever Identity foam, and it was very thick and my machine could not sew through it. So that made it difficult, and it wasn't really difficult, it was more of time consuming, and I had to like use my brain a lot to figure out everything. Okay, so it was not really difficult, it was just time consuming, and I had to use like 100% of my brain. Like I don't use 100% of my brain every time. So guys, the second item on my list of medium difficulty level is a milkmaid dress. Guys, I need to let you know that you need a milkmaid dress in your life if you don't have one already. Okay, now the milkmaid dress looks good on every body type, every body shape. It is God, that dress is everything, and I am going to make another one again. I am also going to make a milk top in 2023. Okay, so what made it difficult? It was not difficult, it wasn't easy, and it wasn't so difficult. I felt it because I'm watching the TV. If you see me looking here, just know that the TV is right here. I am getting distracted, I am watching music videos, and yeah, get behind me, television. So what made the milkmaid dress difficult? I felt it's because it is like a long piece. It's like a full dress. It is a full outfit. I am self-taught. I am not a dressmaker. I am a bag maker. So I felt it was kind of complicated for me in a way, but it's easy. It's just time consuming, but it is easy. And if you know what you are doing, it won't be as time consuming as I felt it is. Or what am I even saying? DIY on my list is a tailor's arm. I made 3 different shapes of tailor's arm. I had to figure out the pattern, not complicated. Cutting the fabric, everything, not complicated. The part where it got complicated was when I had to cut enough scrap fabric into tiny bits in order to stuff the tailor's arm so that it can work well, or they can work well as a tailor's arm. Another not easy and not difficult DIY that I tried this year is making fabric squares. Now, like I said earlier, I don't have a cutting mat, so I had to use scissors, and I had to like figure out the pattern, figure out the layout, and you have to like stick to it when you're doing something like that. So guys, it is not difficult, it is just time consuming, and you have to like stick to a particular pattern. Okay, so guys, another difficult or another not easy and not difficult DIY is a party dress. I got invited to a birthday party, and I had to upcycle a dress that my sister passed down to me. I had to make it into a birthday party dress. Now, it's not easy. It's easy, yes, but I feel like it became frustrating, and at the end of the day, I didn't do everything that I wanted to do on the dress because I had little to no time and the birthday party was closed. Okay, so another medium difficulty level type of DIY that I tried this year is curtains, guys. Curtains. Now, like I said in the video, in the original video, if you make curtains for a living, I just want to let you know that I respect you and you got a serious job. I feel like what made the curtain, definitely for curtains, you just have to cut the fabric to the measurement you want, all the rough edges, figure out how you want to fold it and how you want to pass the rod, or what kind of closing or opening you want to give to your curtains, and that's it. But it got complicated. Okay, it got complicated because for the curtains you are working with like a long, like 3 yards of fabric at the same time, which I am not used to, something I have never done before, and I had to figure it out as I went. I first made the gold curtains. I had to like figure it out, hang it up, figure out how to adjust it, bring it down, adjust it, hang it up to see if the adjustment was made right, bring it down again, and I had to like do it all over again till I got the perfect measurements for the curtain. And I made 2 different type of curtains. I made one with the satin, a gold satin, and the second one is this Ankara curtain you can see behind me. Now, the measurements for the gold curtain was different from the Ankara curtain, so I could not use the same measurements I used for the gold curtain on the Ankara curtain. So when it was time to make the Ankara curtain, because I made the gold curtain first, I had to like repeat the same process and figure out everything all over again. It was time consuming, it was frustrating, and at the end of the day I was just like, anyhow it comes out, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to kill myself on the cut. So another DIY which was not so easy and not difficult is another unfinished project that I cut out about 2 years ago. This is a bag. It is an Ankara bag, and somehow I forgot everything that I was supposed to do from the onset, and it started to get difficult. And I already figured out the measurements because I cut it about 2 years ago. So I already wrote the measurements down. It was all figured out. And when it was time for me to make it again, I was like, why did I write this kind of measurements? Why? I started doubting. But at the end of the day, it turned out the measurements was correct. And the whole doubting process and trying to figure out the measurements all over again made it time consuming and complicated. But overall, it came out fine. It came out well. I am good to go and I love it. Now, the last DIY, medium DIY on this segment, on the medium segment, is the shoe rack that I made recently. Into the point here. The shoe rack that I made recently, guys. If you follow me, you would know that I like to preview everything that I want to achieve before finally sewing or coupling everything together. The TV is distracting me again because Ashake is on the TV. Okay, so I had to fix everything together first before gumming it. I had to fix everything together first, and that part was the most difficult and time-consuming part. I mean, I have never made a shoe rack before using PVC pipe. I have never even made a shoe rack at all before. So I had to dedicate one day in order to figure out what I wanted to achieve. So I had to stack, remove, fix it out. I wasted a lot of PVC pipes in order to figure out what measurements would work for it. And at the end of the day, I figured it out. I kept it behind my window, and the next day I had to start gluing everything together. So in order to do that, I had to take it apart, and I started gluing everything together from the scratch. That was the second day. Then the third day, I had to start spray painting it, and one spray paint can was not enough. And the fourth day, I had to use kerosene paint, guys. It was time consuming, and you need a lot of patience in order to make a shoe rack using PVC pipes if you've never made anything like that before in your life. So guys, that is the last item on the medium level of all my DIYs for 2022. So now guys, let us move on to the most difficult DIY that I have ever made this year. For the most difficult part, we only have one item, right? Which is supposed to be in the simple parts, in the simple category, but it ended up being in the most difficult category. Guys, I am talking to you about a crop top. A crop top, guys. How on earth did a simple crop top get super duper complicated? How? It was supposed to be a simple basic bodice kind of crop top, but it got frustrated, and let me tell you why. First of all, it was not my measurement, it was my sister's measurement. So I was making a top for my sister, and that was the first time I was making a top for a dress outfit, whatever, for somebody that was not me. So I was using a different measurement, and I started doubting, why would it look like this? Why is it looking like this? I had to buy muslin. No, in Nigeria we call it tero fabric. I had to buy that fabric, figure out the pattern on that fabric in order to be oh, why was I doubting? The pattern is real, the pattern is good to go. I was just doubting because it was not my measurement. Why did I do that? And another thing that made it difficult is because at that point my sewing machine started acting funny. So I had to finish the DIY or finish the top in another tailor shop, in a local tailor shop. That was what made it difficult. And I feel generally the top is not difficult. It's just got difficult because of the way I perceived or the way I received the dress or the cloth or the outfit or whatever. So guys, that is it for all my DIYs for the year 2022. I hope you've watched some of them, you've watched all, and do not forget to give me a thumbs up, because in 2023 there is so much DIYs in our future. Clothes, bags, shoes, and every other thing that I have on my list. And guys, thank you for sticking with me all throughout the year. I really appreciate you guys for being here with me all through January. I started my YouTube channel in January. This is December. We are at 400 plus subscribers. Thank you very much. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to join the DIY family. And for those of you who do not know me, hi, my name is Juliet Avaligbe. I am a Nigerian bag maker and all-round DIY enthusiast, and I am currently on a journey of DIYing almost everything that I own. Please share this channel with all your DIY family, all your DIY enthusiasts around you, and every other person who would like to learn whatever it is that I have on my YouTube channel.